Hello friends, welcome back to the shop. Today is Sunday, February 10th, and it's a cold day here in southeastern Pennsylvania. It was about 15 this morning. Not terrible, but considering on Monday or Tuesday we were at 60, it's cold. Anyway, you're probably tired of hearing me talk about the temperature swings, but there are temperature swings to be talked about. Before I get into the heart of the video, I just want to take a minute to say hello to my good friend Danny Shore. Danny, Sue told us that you've been having difficulty with, the text and the comments and all that stuff. Don't worry about it. We know you're out there. We know you're watching us, and I'm just so glad to know that you're doing that. And actually, I wanted to tell you that today I'm actually smoking this pipe that I got from you. This is a little Orlick Corona, and it's a beautiful pipe, masterfully restored, of course. And I keep it down here. Well, first off, Danny, I know that you're something of a collector, and you probably are a bit upset to see that I'm even smoking this, but I couldn't resist it. It's just a perfect little pipe to smoke while you're doing something. I love the Prince-like shape, and I love this pipe, and I keep it down here in the shop, not because it's not a beautiful pipe and not because it doesn't smoke fantastically, but to be honest, Danny, I keep it down here because I like thinking about you when I'm down here in the shop. You were one of the early influences on me. Your restoration videos really taught me a lot and gave me sort of confidence to set out and make my own restoration videos. So when I'm sitting down here working on pipes, I think about you often, buddy, and this is sort of a little reminder of you. I'm also smoking some Sugar Barrel, which you were kind enough to send me a few years ago, and really appreciate that, and boy, everything you've done for the community, Danny. Whenever somebody in the YTPC lights up a pipe, you're essentially there, buddy. So you take care of yourself and keep on watching. We really love that you're out there watching us. So folks, with that, I think you got the gist of that. Sue Dunhill just asked us to take some time to say hi to Danny because he's out there watching us, and he's having difficulty with the comments and things like that, but yeah, it's good to keep him. He's part of this community and always will be. So extend a hand. If you know Danny, if you've been influenced by Danny, next time you make a video, just say hi to him. Put "Hello Danny Shore" in the title so that he can find it, and let's let him know that we think about him. All right, so first order of business, I want to do my weekly shout outs, and I've got two guys for you today. Both relatively new. The first one is a guy who goes by the name of Bearded Tamper. Bearded Tamper is a great guy, fun to watch. It's really been fun to sort of watch him figure out the ropes of making a video and smoking and that sort of thing. His first video, he appeared quite, well, he didn't appear. He said he was quite nervous, but the truth is he appeared to be quite calm and relaxed. So I think he's a natural at this, and I'm really looking forward to more and more videos from him. Plus, he's a woodworker, and he makes his videos in a shop. So, what more could you ask for? That's a great idea. And the second guy I'd like to point out to you goes by the name Stogie300. And to be honest, when I subscribed to him the other day, he was at 90. I think I was in the 99th subscriber. So he's probably over 100 by now. So I'm breaking my rule, but it's my rule, so I can break it. He rides a Harley. He's from Eastern Pennsylvania. What more do you need to know? Go check him out. Links for both of those guys will be below. And one other just sort of bonus shout out, because I saw this morning, and I just have to let you guys know about it if you don't already. There's a member of the YTPC that goes by the name Skook with a Uke. Her name is Rebecca, and she's recently changed the name of her channel. I'll put a link below to the video I'm talking about. She put up a video, I think it was yesterday, but I saw it this morning. She's I think she's a theology student, and she is also a musician and songwriter, and she performed a song this morning that was just fantastic. It was just beautiful, beautiful song. You know, it is a Christian song, but it was beautiful regardless of the content. And you know, if you're into that sort of thing, the content was fantastic as well. So it brightened my day. So I'm gonna link to her below as well. Go check out that song. And if you're not subbed to her, you should be, because she really puts out some nice stuff. So the main thing I really wanted to talk about today is this blend right here from my good friend Padre Piper, and this is Padre Piper's Rector's blend. The Padre was kind enough to send me a sample of this. It's a blend that he's been working on himself, mixing and matching in an attempt to come up with a match to one of the Frogmortons, which he liked quite a bit. And I was, you know, excited to try this. I like to try any new tobacco. And this is unapologetically a Latakia blend. So, you know, I'm a little bit out of my normal wheelhouse with this, but I enjoy the occasional Latakia. And the other thing about this is it very clearly has an aromatic component, so he's definitely done a crossover. And I thought it would be nice to do a little bit of a review of this. Not really a review, but impressions, and talk a bit about the tobacco and what I think might be in it, just to have a little bit of fun with Padre and see how close I get. So the tobacco it's predominantly dark leaf. I'm guessing that's Latakia and probably some Black Cavendish as well. It has some bright components, which are very likely some bright Virginias, but there's some larger leaves in there. Might be some burley. I don't know. I'm going to load this up. This is my my Phil Rivera pipe that I'm using, and I will load it up with Rector's blend, and we will give it a taste, and I'll tell you more about it. As you know, I'm not a big English guy, but I do occasionally enjoy them, and this was one that really hit the spot for me. It is definitely an English blend. It definitely has a lot of key in it. It's not harsh. One of the reasons I don't smoke Latakia as much as I used to is, to me, Latakia has become very harsh. It used to be much, to my palate, much softer and almost a sweet smokiness, smoother, I guess is the way to put it. And this definitely has that smoothness to it. It also has a very clear aromatic component, so it's definitely a crossover blend. And it's reminiscent of things like Lane HGL, although a bit heavier on the Latakia than HGL. Very reminiscent of Northwoods, or and I have to admit, I saw Padre Piper talking about this blend the other day, and it sort of a light bulb went off in my head when I heard him say it. Esoteric is En Soda Bed. This is very reminiscent of En Soda Bed. It's got that nice, smooth, slightly sweet Latakia, and an aromatic component that is very, maybe vanilla, maybe honey, really good, and it complements the Latakia really well. It's very nice. And then there's something else in here, and yeah, I get a little bit of Virginia, and it's a tangy, bright Virginia, but there's something else, and I cannot pin it down. It's almost a sour, salty. I told the Padre, and he hasn't told me what's in this yet, but the only place where I've tasted anything remotely like that one note is in Cornell and Deal's Shandy Gaff, and I don't think he put Shandy Gaff in here, but that's what it's got. And it's just a very subtle note, but it's the one thing I can't pin down. So if I had to guess, and fortunately I don't, but if I had to guess what was in this, I would probably think, so the easy thing would be that he started with something like And So to Bed or Northwoods. I don't think, or HGL, probably more likely. I don't think that's true. I'm guessing that he actually started with a blend that we've both talked about, which is that Lane BSC 5, I think it is. Very nice Lane English blend that I've played with in some blending myself. And then he added something aromatic, something on the honey end of aromatics, sweet, light, not cloying, certainly not goopy, but a good quality arrow added in there to get that underlying thing. And then there's some Virginia, which I'm not going to even try to guess as to what that is. And there's that something else. And oh, what the heck! I might as well go out on a limb and say he added some Shandy Gaff. I'm sure I'm wrong about that. But Padre, this is fantastic. And I'll tell you one other thing. My wife is very tolerant of my pipe smoking, and she very, very rarely has asked me to not smoke something, or asked me to go outside or go down the basement with something. But it has occasionally happened. But she never says, "Oh, I like that." She's a good wife, and she's tolerant of me. And the blends that she tends to send me away with are almost always containing a lot of Kia. And I lit this up, and about 5 minutes after I lit up the first bowl, she said, "Ooh, that smells good." And she said it was a warm, comforting smell. So, regardless of the taste, Padre, you really hit the room note well, because she's a pretty good judge of such things, and she really enjoyed it. So, I will be sure to smoke the remainder of my sample here around my wife to keep her happy. And I really thank you for the opportunity to try this. It's been a lot of fun trying to figure out what it is, and it's a delicious blend. So well done, Padre. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I know it's not too much fun listening to somebody talk about a tobacco that you can't get, but you can live vicariously through me. And I think that Padre has some plans to actually let us know what's in it, so maybe you can have it. Maybe you can mix it up yourself. So, upcoming things, I'm running a bit long here, and I've got a couple things I want to get out. I am thinking about doing some new tobacco impressions type videos. So these will be short form videos. I'm thinking about calling them something like Tobacco Tasting Tuesday or something like that. It's not going to be every Tuesday. I don't have enough tobacco to do that. But since I've been opening a lot of these tins that I've told you about, they're sort of one-offs in my cellar, I thought it might be good to just kind of share that with you in more of a short form video. And some of the confusion that I've had here is that I'm playing around with some new technology to try to hopefully make that a bit more interesting. And you'll hopefully see some of that when you're watching this video. We'll have already seen it if all goes well. We shall see. So look for that. It's probably not going to be this week, but in coming weeks I might start to put a couple of those out. The other thing is I'm doing another premiere. So I'm making a video. I've been working on it for a couple weeks now on tobacco blending and pressing, an example of that, sort of a demonstration and some tasting along the way. Probably not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday I'll release that video as a premiere, and I really enjoyed doing that. What I'll do this time is I will stick around after the video ends, and we can chat in the chat room for as long as YouTube allows us to do that. And this way we can I can take any questions or whatever might come up, or we can just shoot the breeze. So look for that. Again, it's not going to be this week, but possibly next Wednesday, and I'll let you know in the next weekend chat for sure. So I hope you enjoyed that. I actually did a survey in the what do they call it now, the community tab, just because I was curious what people thought. Should I do these? Should I not do them? And I got pretty good response. I got like 60 responses, which surprised me, and I was very happy about. And overwhelmingly, people said, about 80% said yes, do it, great. 20% said they don't care, and that's fine. You know, that's actually fewer than I expected to not care, so that was good. And I think one person said no, they're a waste of time, and I'm really glad because that was the third option. And thank you for doing that because that makes me trust all the responses. You know, if everybody is positive, I'm worried, and I appreciate it. You know, I get that it's a waste of time for you. And you'd rather just watch the video when it comes out. That's fine. But I think, you know, there's enough interest in it. I enjoy it enough that I'm probably going to continue to do that. Not for every video, obviously, but when, you know, certain videos that I think will be of interest for that kind of an event come along, I'll do them as premieres. Last thing, just because I talked about it, sorry, my pipe is going out. I showed you that Peterson stem that I was working on last week, and boy, that turned out to be a marathon, and I'm still working on it. But I spent a lot of time down here yesterday, and I'm very happy with where things sit right now. This still needs to be still needs the final polish. The band isn't actually glued in yet, and the stem needs to be bent. But got a pretty good match. I mean, unfortunately, I couldn't find anything that was exactly like the original. So this has got a bit more swirl in it. It's not quite as translucent, but it looks good on the pipe, I think. Hopefully the customer will agree. But this thing was just a bear because, you know, I had all those issues of concentricity. And what I hadn't really thought about is how am I going to get this band to be concentric with the outside of the stem when the stem is shifted off relative to the airway. And you can kind of see that. You can see that there's more of a step on this side. Sorry, folks, I am just having a ridiculous amount of technical difficulties this morning. I'm trying out something new, and it's just led to chaos, but we'll get it fixed. So what I was saying is to get this band concentric, it was a real challenge because the airway is not centered on the stem. It's shifted. So I couldn't cut it on a lathe. So I actually had to sit there with a file and hand file that little step all the way around and hand file it in a way that kept it concentric with the shank of the pipe but not with the airway. And I have to admit, when I started out, I was not sure that I was going to be able to do it. But I think, you know, after all is said and done, and again, it's not glued in yet, so it can shift a little bit. But, you know, it's going to be hard for you guys to see, but it is, you know, equidistant on both sides, and it's relatively flush with the stem. I think that's about the best that you could do. So, Peterson, please check your drills. Something's wrong. This is the second Peterson that I've dealt with in a week's time that had this kind of an issue, and I just got an email from someone the other day with a Peterson that had a drilling issue. Something ain't right. Hopefully they'll get that squared away. Anyway, guys, I have no idea how long this video has run because I've had so many technical issues here that I just don't know. So I'm going to call it to a close, and hopefully it hasn't been too long of a journey for you. So thank you all for watching. Thank you for your likes, your subscriptions, your comments. I always appreciate them and look forward to them. And I hope you all have a great week ahead. And until we talk again, I will look forward to speaking to you all again very, very soon. Goodbye now.